Hey, a little jazz kind of calm the show down. You know, it's like your family just left. What
It's
do you
when you
think?
pull out the Hallelujah
Yeah,
CD and
yeah, yeah.
blast that.
All
yeah.
right, we made it. Yay. Okay, let's go lay down. Get the real good food out now. Oh, sorry. All right, now, why does family togetherness freak us out?
Go figure.
Go figure. How come? You know why that is?
I have no idea.
Oh, it says right here why it is. I'm going to say
Yeah,
it.
okay.
You know, it's probably the same reason that we hurt the people who are closest to us.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, we
But
spend.
why did you tell us?
Okay, we spend so much time working that the idea of having to relate or actually communicate with family can be very difficult. We're more about what we do instead of who we be. Now think about that. We're more about how the house looks or how the car looks or what's in the medicine cabinet or, quite frankly, does the dishwasher work or is there dust on the furniture? We're more about that than being with the people in the house. So sometimes we like to see, what's sitting across. We like to be with who's sitting across the picnic table. Actually be with that person rather than just reaching to the plate where the chicken leg is. You know what I mean? So think about that. We worry about acceptance. Will our children watch their manners when grandma's around, and how much has ours or their waistline grown since the last reunion or the last gathering? Or does Uncle Bob still swear a lot, and does Uncle Joe and Aunt Mary still drink themselves into a stupor by noon? I mean, there's all kinds of things that you want to think about and look at, and there's all kinds of things that you need to absolutely give up. Family's family. All right? And then there's the one where you think about all the time, am I living up to the standards that I spoke I was living up to before they came here? Am I actually being who I told them I am? So it's all about, things are getting real here. Family togetherness often reminds us of the fact that, we need to be in love with people during our aging process. It's not about anything other than our ability to forgive, our ability to love, and our ability to move forward as we get older. Because, quite frankly, as we get older, all we have left is the stories we tell about each other. So you might as well do some stuff so there's some good stories to tell. What do you think? Yeah. What are you going to do, Elizabeth?
I don't know.
Oh, yes, you do.
Clay, is it possible to be truly friends with people who are in your family?
I think so. I mean, who else can you be? Who else knows you better than your own family members?
Right.
Like I've done workshops for 17 years now, and I can't get my family members to come and be in the workshops because I think it's a problem they have. I certainly haven't expounded or expanded on any of the things I've done in my life. I mean, I think maybe they might know a few things I may have sort of maybe what's the word, expanded on, or maybe said a few times more than it actually happened. I don't know.
You mean like a little bit of an exaggeration? There's that E word.
Pardon me, I grabbed my chest. I'm going to fall over.
I just think you're going to make him eat worms. That's why.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's all about giving it all up and having a great time with your family. It's all about giving it all up and taking your family who they are. It's all about, instead of wondering what's going to happen, is it going to be the same as the last time? How about this? How about I can't wait for them to get here so I can see what they pulled this time? I mean, my brother is the greatest guy in the whole wide world. I don't work with him. I don't socialize with him. He's in a whole different world. But that guy makes me laugh from the minute he steps in my house and the minute he leaves, I am on the ground. He's the only guy I've ever had a food fight with in a restaurant. And food fights are totally out of integrity. Shouldn't have never done it. We had one of the best food fights in a restaurant here in Santa Barbara you can shake a stick at. In fact, the people were bringing each of us food back saying, here, you missed us. Anyway, now. So, growing in the appreciation of the meaning of family, that takes practice, You got to learn to laugh at Grandma's burnt fruitcake. You got to learn to laugh when the fire trucks pull up because there's so much smoke coming out of the kitchen the fruitcake is totally toasted and you didn't want fruitcake anyway. You got to learn to laugh when the fireman said, excuse me, but what is this? And you tell him Grandma's fruitcake. Or how about Uncle Joe getting away with all the off-color jokes? You got to, only Uncle Joe can do that. So you got to give them the power to do that, okay? Or listen to your cousins ribbing each other over their favorite sports teams when you know nothing about sports, you don't care about sports, but you love to see the competition between the two, okay? And how about watching your parents bonding with your children? Think about that when you get to watch your parents bonding with your kids. I mean, it's so cool. Reminds you of what family's all about, all right? Now, in life, you have two things. You can do one of two things. You can either complain about it or you can create a great one. So you can either complain or create, okay? So full and complete communication is another thing. I've talked about that with the caller. You know, you have to let your ego grow. You have to give up all the 10-year-old grudges. You have to learn to forgive, because when it's all said and done, all right, you want family around you when you're completing your life. It doesn't make any difference what you've done in the past. Doesn't make any difference how much money you got. You want family there, okay? Now, last but not least, you want to keep things simple, and you got to learn to laugh both with family and at yourself, all right? So in conclusion, family, you know, family is where we live. Family is where we get support. Family is where we arm wrestle. Family is all about having an opinion, being able to speak it. Family is all about judgments and evaluation, and family is a great place to have something to talk about throughout your life, all right? And the truth is, we all need not only a sense of family, but we need an actual family. Family bonds go a long way to providing us with a sense of well-being and belonging, something to attach ourselves to. So, in the season of frantic family togetherness, remember the quote from George Moore: "A man travels the world over and searches for what he needs, and then he returns home to find it." Now, think about that one, okay? So thank you for listening. Join us every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. and then again at 10 and 11 p.m. on Sundays, 12 to 1 p.m. And I am Clay Nelson. This is the Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour. You're listening to KZSB AM 1290 in Santa Barbara.